It is so Superpole race for the Catalunya Round in 2022. A lot of lift off the line for Toprak Razgatlioglu, trying to get that wheelie down. They're going either side of him on the run towards turn one. Bautista with another frantic start, hits the front. Toprak though further back this time around. Andrea Locatelli is the top performing Yamaha in the early stages. He's pinned to the inside in third position by Jonathan Rea, who's made a decent jump. Alex Lowe's the man from the front row of the grid to lose out, and Nika Lekuona likewise. So Lowe's and Lekuona, who started in first and second positions, are down to fourth and fifth, and that's bad news over the short distance of 10 laps here in the Superpole race. Lowe's recovers third position from Locatelli, so on lap one, as they make their way through to the end of the second sector, it's Bautista from Rea, from Lowe's, from Locatelli, and Lekuona in your top five.
Yeah, and for Jonathan Rea, with that softer rear tyre compared to Alvaro Bautista, he needs to make full use of that and get himself into a position to try and attack.
Razgatlioglu just back up inside the top 9 positions that will score World Championship points and take a place on the front 3 rows of the grid for race 2 this afternoon. So Toprak's progress that saw him fire his way through from the third row of the grid and straight up into second place in race 1 yesterday afternoon has been halted early on by problems off the line. Alex Lowe's ducking to the inside into turn 10 there on Jonathan Rea. Looks as though he's going to get the pass made there for P2. Bautista, Lowe's and Rea is your new order, and a big gap there to fourth position. I think we might have lost Lekuona and Locatelli, because that's why the group has broken up. Rinaldi promoted into fourth position then. That is Lekuona, and 10-10, a famous pinch point here at the Circuit de Barcelona, Catalunya. Bautista's doing what he does tend to do in the early stages of races, and that's chip away a tenth at a time. Plenty of change further back down the order. For sixth position, Vierke has got through on Bassani, who's also been relegated now behind Philip Oertel. Scott Redding through on Garrett Gerloff, and so that pushes Gerloff off the third row of the grid for race 2 this afternoon. That's bad news for Gerloff. He's now going to try and respond down the inside of Redding. Redding in turn was looking for a move on Axel Bassani for 8th position. There is still potentially a place on the third row of the grid here for Gerloff, because it's Bassani who is tumbling backwards. Scott Redding then will duck to the inside of the number 47. Even with the slipstream advantage, Toprak can't stay with Rinaldi, and the 21 escaping slightly away from the 1 into the braking zone then. This is the strength of Razgatlioglu. We ride on board with him as he makes the pass, and Toprak is finally through and clear for fourth position. They go side by side for 7th position. Scott Redding with a really well-worked move there. The best we've seen from Redding all weekend long. Yeah,
and for Redding, this is where it's so important. He's been one of the form riders in the championship over the last few rounds. He's been on the podium. He needs to dig in on a day like this, try and get what you can. If he's able to come away with 6th and the top rider in this group, then it's not so bad. I said about Bautista controlling the race. What I meant to say is he's trying to control the race out in front. He knows where his bike's strong. You can see from Philip Oertel just how strong the Ducati is down the start-finish straight into Sector 1. The Kawasaki's, though, with that soft tyre, they're doing everything they can to stay with.
Bassani hitting problems. Axel Bassani running wide at turn 1. He was a little over-ambitious there in 9th position, and an error from him, and Garrett Gerloff got sucked into a mistake as well, and Gerloff is going to tumble.
As it stands right now, Rea would fall 57 points behind. Bautista looks so strong this weekend that could easily stretch to over a race weekend's worth of points by the end of this weekend. So for KRT, they might have a decision to make.
Well, Rea might take that decision out of their hands, of course, if he can make the pass on Alex Lowe's. This is Michael van der Mark. He looks to have gone down at turn 7, the chicane at the bottom of the hill here in Catalunya, compounding a miserable race for him, really, with the long lap penalty to be served for his collision with Luca Bernardi yesterday, dropping him right the way down the field. His attempts at recovering, we're going to see here against Eugene Laverty, 3 into 1, does not go in that chicane.
Yeah, and you can see there for Mikey, just that has to take that bit of avoiding action on the entry. He's out of position after that long lap penalty, and yeah, it's just been a real tough return.
Jonathan Rea versus Alex Lowe's. KRT on KRT. Didn't look like Alex Lowe's made too much of a resistance there into turn 1. We'll see if Lowe's can answer back, but 2 extra important points for Rea in the context of the championship, particularly with the series leader Alvaro Bautista streaking clear now at the head of the field. Alvaro Bautista has torn the opposition apart this weekend in Catalunya thus far. He's making his way through the final sector. Just the Catalunya corner to go for Alvaro Bautista. No change for second second and third positions. Lowe's might get a good run off the final turn, but he's not going to be close enough. Alvaro Bautista takes his first back-to-back victories since Estoril, his first back-to-back in the same weekend since Aragon at the season opener.